Hello friends, in this video we are going to discover the most dangerous roads in the United States. A great many Americans took to the roads on every Thanksgiving, and it's likely as many will traverse the US by year's end, whether for family gatherings or well-earned vacations. We won't rehash the usual winter travel recommendations, but will rather warn travelers to take extra precautions when encountering the most hazardous stretches of road in the nation according to the AAA Northeast. These havens of motoring mayhem go far beyond the usual ill-conceived interchange or two sudden stop signs. No, these are the stretches of road in both busy and remote parts of the country that rack up a noteworthy number of fatalities each year. But as it turns out, the full blame should not to the roads, but to the drivers for engaging in dangerous or distracted driving. Here's the list of roads the AAA says warrant particular precautions, especially for year-end road trippers. Kindly make sure to hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon before we start this video about the most dangerous roads in the United States. Now let's dig deeper into each of the most dangerous roads in the United States. Number 12. Road to Hana, Hawaii. You might think you're in paradise when you're in Hawaii and driving on Maui's road to Hana, but you must be careful. The 52-mile road connects Kahului to Hana on the eastern shoreline and offers beautiful views of mountaintops, forests, and waves crashing on the shore. But along the way, you'll also come across 620 turns and 59 narrow bridges, according to AAA. It can take drivers anywhere from 2 to 4 hours to make the journey, and Hawaii's Tourism Authority recommends drivers travel with a permitted tour company rather than making the drive themselves. Number 11. Highway 2, Montana. Montana's Highway 2 stretches east to west across the northern end of the state and maintains a 70 mph speed limit, even when winding through some mountainous regions. That means you're far away from any help should you need it. In 2021, the average EMS response time in Montana was about 45 minutes, and that number climbs when EMS workers need to travel on Highway 2, according to AAA. Number 10. James Dalton Highway, Alaska. The James Dalton Highway was constructed in 1974 and stretches 414 miles through Alaska's wilderness from Fairbanks to Deadhorse. The road is mainly used to transport oil and cuts through some of Alaska's most treacherous terrain. You may have heard of this highway before, too. Driving on this road is so dangerous that it was the focus of the TV show Ice Road Truckers. In addition to the road cutting through forests, steep hills, and the Yukon River, what makes this road so dangerous is its remoteness, according to AAA. There are only 3 towns along the entire 414-mile route, which includes a 240-mile stretch without any gas stations or rest stops. Number 9. U.S. Route 17, South Carolina. Route 17 in South Carolina is one of the most scenic and breathtaking drives you can take in the Southeast, but it's also dangerous. AAA says the road is filled with sharp turns and narrow lanes, and there's also a lot of wildlife that leads to a driving hazard when they cross the road. One study named US 17 in South Carolina one of the most dangerous roads in America during the summer. Number 8. I-285, Georgia. Interstate 285 in Georgia is called the Perimeter because the 64-mile loop encompasses the city of Atlanta. In addition, AAA says that the highway connects all the other major highways in the region, leading to congested roadways. AAA says Vox calculated the road's fatality rate and found it was 3.5 deaths for every 10 miles, which, at the time of the study, was the country's deadliest interstate. Number 7. I-15, Nevada and California. The 181-mile stretch of Interstate 15 between Las Vegas and Los Angeles isn't dangerous because of road conditions, it's because of the drivers on the highway. In fact, one study checked out data over a 15-year period and found it to be the deadliest road in America. This is because drivers often speed while traveling through the Mojave Desert, and they're likely coming or going from the excitement in Las Vegas. That same study found about 1/4 of crashes on that section of roadway involved a drunk driver. Number 6. I-10, Arizona. Interstate 10 runs from Jacksonville, Florida, to Santa Monica, California, but AAA says the stretch of highway running through Arizona is extremely dangerous. This is because the highway cuts through the desert, which leads to drivers speeding and driving aggressively. Nearly 500 people were killed on I-10 in Arizona over a 6-year period. Number 5. I-45, Texas. Interstate 45 in Texas is extremely congested, and AAA says the Galveston to Dallas section of the highway was recently named the deadliest road in America by Budget Direct. They found that I-45 averages about 56.5 fatal crashes for every 100 miles of highway, noting that heavy traffic and driver complacency are to blame. Number 4. I-4, Florida. AAA says Interstate 4, between Daytona Beach and Tampa, Florida, was once the deadliest highway in America, with roughly 1.41 deaths per mile on the highway. According to AAA, this could be because the highway runs right through Orlando, which is a hotspot for tourists looking to visit Walt Disney World, Universal Studios, or other attractions. Number 3. Lake Pontchartrain Causeway, Louisiana. The Lake Pontchartrain Causeway in Louisiana holds the Guinness World Record for the longest bridge over water at 24 miles long. And when you get to the middle of the bridge, where there's no land in sight, many people get nervous, especially when the causeway becomes enveloped in fog. AAA says that sometimes the fog becomes so thick that local police must escort drivers across the bridge. Number 2. U.S. Route 1, Florida. AAA says Florida doesn't have a ban on using a handheld cell phone while driving, and research looked into deaths on U.S. Route 1 between last few years and found Florida's section of the highway is one of the deadliest roads in America. In total, 87 people died between those years. The south end of the highway, known as the Overseas Highway, connects Miami to the Florida Keys and consists of miles of bridges many people find unnerving, according to AAA. Number 1. Million Dollar Highway, Colorado. Colorado's Million Dollar Highway offers some of the most breathtaking views in the country, but it's not for the faint of heart. Winding through Red Mountain Pass in the San Juan Mountains, the Million Dollar Highway climbs 11,000 feet above sea level and has cliffs and hairpin turns. The Million Dollar Highway is officially known as U.S. Route 550, but according to local legend, it got its name after a woman said she would have to be paid $1 million to drive it again. AAA says when you mix in some of Colorado's harsh weather, the Million Dollar Highway is one of the most dangerous roads in America, according to a list compiled by USA Today. Well, that's all we have for you today. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the content of this video, click the subscribe button so you can receive more content like this. Post your thoughts on the most dangerous roads in the United States in the comments below. I'd love to read them and I'm sure others would too.